up, everybody, and welcome to Buzzworthy TV. And I'm your girl, Lady T. You guys, I had to come back to you after rewatching the Whitney Houston movie because I felt like my first review. First of all, let me apologize because I had been drinking. So the first review was really just more like a relief that this movie did not turn out bad. So I don't really feel like I gave it a real critique. Like I said, I had been drinking, I had people over, and like I said, it was a very good movie. But I want to, just talk about some things. I seen it again over the weekend, and, a lot of people have had some criticism. So I just want to revisit this real quick for the last time. Okay, so let me go about the parts that I liked about the movie. I love the music. Deborah Cox did her thing. I mean, even the Bobby Brown performance to me was just on point. So one of my best parts of the movie was definitely the music. So big ups to that. I'm so glad that they didn't do like the Aaliyah movie. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying Alexandra Shipp is not talented, but they had that girl tackling Aaliyah's songs and she didn't sound good at all. So I'm glad Angela left it up to a professional to handle Whitney's vocals. And even the guy who did Bobby Brown, I don't know who did it, but he did an excellent job too. And what else I liked about the movie? I liked that I felt that it was real. I felt like it was an honest portrayal. And I'm going to go into that a little bit more deeper. But I do just feel like it was an honest portrayal, and it really was at its core a love story. Anyway, what I did want to see in the movie, what I wanted to see is, okay, this was the Bodyguard era. And they showed her, on tour and everything, which, side note, my favorite performance scene by far was the I'm Every Woman scene where she danced and she's just giving us Whitney and all that stuff. Yeah, my favorite performance scene definitely was I'm Every Woman. But you guys got to remember too, during the Bodyguard, she was winning all these awards. Like, I remember the American Music Awards. She had won I think 8 to 10 awards in one night, to the point where I never forget, Will Smith was hosting the awards and he said, we might as well just call this the Whitney Houston show. I would have loved to see that, and I would have loved when she had won all those Billboard awards too. So I would have loved to have seen that. I think she won 8 Billboard awards in one night. So just to see those accomplishments after all her hard work and everything she sacrificed time, she sacrificed even her first baby that she miscarried. So I would have loved to have seen that, since they did cover the Bodyguard period, to see her winning all these awards and everything. Okay, now let's get to these critics, y'all. Okay, first they said that it should have been called the Bobby and Whitney story. Yes, it was their story, but I kind of agree. To me, it should have been called I Will Always Love You, the Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown story. But I'm not mad, because if anybody read the articles or anybody looked at any of the press that Angela and the cast did, they said it's their story. It focuses on how they met in the first few years of their marriage. So how are you not prepared for that? So I don't understand why they not. I don't understand why people are going in, because to me, you already knew that beforehand. So if you mad, I just don't get how you missed the memo, as they say, that she has been publicly, it wasn't even just one article. Every time it's talk, it's been talked that it was their story. So, yes, it should have been called, something like Bobby and Whitney or something like that. But I ain't mad. I'm not going in like some people are. So, and then they said that Bobby Brown looked like a saint. How do somebody who's cheating with different women, constantly drinking alcohol, look like a saint? I'm confused. But they think that he was looking like a saint, and I don't. I feel like he was a good man. And at his core, he was decent, and that's what they wanted to portray. And if all these Whitney Houston fans who be on social media and who be commenting on all these articles and all these blogs, and they were true fans, they would know. That's all she said was like, he loved me. He was there for me. He put his career on the line. So, to me, it's true to who he is at his core. Did he have his problems? Yes. Was everything in a relationship in the beginning was perfect? No. I mean, granted, they were happier times, but we know no relationship is perfect. So I get that point, but they'll try to just automatically assume that he was the villain. He wasn't. So, I mean, to me, that never came across to me that he was a villain. I never thought that he got her hooked on drugs. I always felt like, I never knew it was the brother until recently, but I always felt like she was dipping and dabbing. Not necessarily an addict, but hey, at a party here and there. So I just never thought that he got her hooked. Nor did I think she got him hooked. I think the pressure of being Mr. Whitney Houston got him in his feelings. I mean, it bruised his ego. Like she said on the Oprah Winfrey interview, something happens to a man's ego when that woman becomes so big. And I think that's what she was trying to portray, especially at the end of the movie. Her career became so big, it engrossed both of them until they just started just going downhill. So I'm not mad that they made Bobby Brown look like a decent human being, because I think he was, and I think he loved that lady. You know, yes, things got bad, but I don't think at the particular time it was that bad. So if it's not that bad, why go searching for something to display this man to be this, this jerk? If he wasn't at the time, not that he wasn't, like she said, towards the middle and end of their marriage, he did some things that were, that would make you look at him sideways like this. But I mean, at that time, he was a good guy, and at the heart of everything, they loved each other. So I'm not mad at his portrayal. And then, they want to talk about it made Whitney look like a cokehead. I don't think so, and I'm the biggest Whitney Houston fan there is. I feel like she had issues before. Not were they as big? No. I don't think they got big until, like she said, after the Bodyguard. I do think at one particular point she could take it or leave it. Not that I'm condoning it, but to me, everything is not always black and white. And you guys have learned that about me since if you subscribe or if you follow me, you will understand that I'm not a black and white person. There's all many different layers. And I do think that at one particular point she could take it or leave it. And then it started to consume her. So her doing drugs at her birthday party, I wasn't offended by that. Like some people say it's a disgrace to her legacy, but if she already had said, I did drugs, very light in the beginning, why not portray that? They didn't have her being irate or screaming or being, or being unprofessional. I mean, they show her at her heart being a very genuine and nice person. And, they did show her, I like the fact that they did show her philanthropy. I mean, when they showed Eddie Murphy congratulating on her work that she did for the NAACP, that was cool. They did show a little bit of her humanitarian side. So, I mean, yeah, you might not like to see that she was doing drugs, but if that was her reality, that was her reality. I mean, I don't think that's because they showed that part of her that was just a disgrace to her legacy. What's a disgrace is when you bash somebody and don't acknowledge what they've done with their life. That's what I would call a disgrace. Like, that Aaliyah movie to me was a disgrace because they didn't get into what made her hurt. And we got that from Whitney. We got a sense of who she was. We didn't get who Aaliyah was. Not at all. That show, that I was about to call the video, that movie did not show me who Aaliyah was. And I got who Whitney was from this. And I hate to say this, y'all might go in on me in the comments, but actually one of my favorite, I have two favorite parts of the movie. Of course, the I'm Every Woman montage. And then the end when he comes back from rehab. And she's sitting there in her room. And their dialogue was so powerful to me. I felt like I was fly on the wall to Whitney and Bobby conversation. Like, I felt that when, you know, when he talks about how they leaked his story to the new, you know, to the tabloids, and she just getting high, and she's just like, you know, and he tells her, hey, we need to get help. And, you know, she rolled up and she was like, I'm at the top of my game. You know, the only problems I got are the ones you giving me. You know, I'm not the one drinking and getting shot at or screwing women. And I totally could see her saying that. I really could. And I totally could see her at that point being in denial. So, I don't know. I thought it was a good portrayal. Because it didn't bash her. It didn't have her looking like a monster who couldn't do her job. It was a part of her life. And if people can't deal with that, I don't know. Like I said, I'm the biggest Whitney Houston fan there is. But I think some of these people are taking it a little too far by trying to make her out to be some angel. She wasn't perfect, but she was, you know, an amazing talent, a good person at heart. And I think they captured that. And, you know, I really thought it was a really good movie. I walked away satisfied. I walked away feeling like, okay, it was so good that the people, Yaya and Arlene, whatever his name is, the guy who played Bobby, I wanted to actually see them go further. I wanted to see them handle the bad years during the being Bobby Brown, during her going back and forth to rehab, because they were so good. I wanted to take it further. They drew me in as Bobby and Whitney, and I'm so happy for that. So, again, big ups to Angela Bassett. You did a phenomenal job, especially for the budget and for being a Lifetime movie. You did an excellent job. So, don't let the haters continue to hate. Anyway, y'all, till next time, peace and love.